Welcome to iKan, where innovation meets professional video production. Since 2005, we've been at the forefront of equipping creatives and professionals with the tools they need to bring their vision to life. From LED lights and teleprompters to PTZ cameras, tripods, and monitors, iKan is the trusted name across television stations, production and corporate studios, educational institutions, houses of worship, and beyond. Introducing our revolutionary Power over Ethernet lights. Imagine illuminating your set without the need for traditional AC power outlets. These cutting-edge lights are not only powered, but also DMX controlled over a single Cat6 Ethernet cable. Discover more about our innovative products and how they can transform your production. Visit us at ikancorp.com.
What's next in wireless? Meet the Shure Microflex Wireless Next 2. It's a snap to set up, and it's perfect for all your spaces, like this, and yeah, even that. And with a variety of available mics, everyone can hear and be heard. So what's next in wireless? The all-new, all-in-one MXW Next 2.
The Radian Video Wall Processor delivers large-scale visualization for mission-critical control rooms and command centers. It's modular and scalable, enabling users to create combinations of up to 64 screens from hundreds of inputs. Radian supports video from all sources, including computers, cameras, IP streams. With Radian, users can monitor and control numerous assets simultaneously across an open canvas. The ability to manage unlimited windows across multiple screens and drag and drop content in real time anywhere on the wall offers users maximum flexibility. The Radian Video Wall Processor from Blackbox. Scalable, flexible, and secure for any control room or command center video wall application. Learn more at blackbox.com/Radian.
The industry has evolved over the years. Analog to digital, isolated to network, server-based to cloud-based, but fundamental pains persist. Rolling out hundreds of rooms quickly and reliably is difficult, time-consuming, and expensive. Complex equipment frustrates staff, managers, and executives alike. The recent shift to hybrid offices has organizations considering replacement of outmoded systems. They're looking for simple, reliable, flexible, secure, and easy-to-budget video conferencing solutions. It's time for a totally new approach. It's time the AV industry met the Internet of Things. Introducing Conference Room as a Service, subscription-based products and services only from Wesco. A subscription that scales and works for your business. Together, with your preferred AV installer, we help you choose the right size system for your meeting spaces, small rooms, medium-sized rooms, and large conference rooms. Once you've chosen the size room you want to deploy, choose Zoom or Microsoft Teams and add options like bring your own device and a monitor if needed. Then choose how many rooms you want to add to your subscription. It's that easy. Once your AV integrator has installed and activated your equipment, your Conference Room as a Service subscription has you covered with advanced replacement, an industry-leading warranty, live 24/7 world-class help desk support, and a portal for remote monitoring and service tickets. With this service, all rooms are online and ready to go once connected to the network. It's never been easier to deploy, monitor, and evolve your workplace technologies, all at an affordable price with easy payments. Conference Room as a Service subscription-based products and services, only from Wesco. Simple, reliable, flexible, secure, easy to budget.
AV Gear is the one-stop solution for all your professional audiovisual equipment needs and a modern alternative for selling, trading, or liquidating your pre-owned audiovisual and entertainment technology. Not only are we a leading national brand in premium pre-owned equipment sales, we specialize in helping businesses across the globe sell, trade in, or liquidate their used audiovisual and production gear with no hassle. When you have any pro audiovisual gear that's taken up space or not being used, or you're looking to upgrade your systems and update your technology, you don't want to deal with the hassle and the costly and time-consuming process to get things done. Whatever that scenario might look like, AV Gear can help. Our team has over 50 years of real-world pro audiovisual and production experience, and we understand your needs and challenges when buying or selling your equipment. That's why it's so important to work with a company that truly cares about its clients and partners. And we work very hard to serve as if we were an extension of your own company, with your best interests as our top priority. Our business revolves around the buying and selling of professional audio, broadcast, lighting, cameras, projection, lenses, accessories, and so much more. We have pioneered revolutionary, flexible service programs to help you seamlessly reach your goals so that you and your team can continue to focus on what you do best while we do the rest. Regardless of the type or size of business that you are, regardless of where you find yourself with anything Pro AV, we can accommodate you beyond expectations. Whether you're looking to buy or sell your gear, trade it in, upgrade, consign, or liquidate, AV Gear is your one-stop Pro AV equipment solution, helping you save time, money, and space while bringing value to you and your gear in every way.
about AVIXA TV at InfoComm.
Oh my gosh, AVIXA TV is amazing this year. I think it's our best one yet. We've partnered with Ross Video and our set looks amazing. It's been wonderful this year.
Sam?
Has it been problematic with 2 bends every day on the set?
The bends are phenomenal. You can never have too many bends. They are just so sophisticated and suave.
Sam? Sam? Can you let us out?
And those bends, they are highly intelligent.
We're just gonna have to look. Let me wait. Ow. Do you have any butter?
And honestly, this has been our best show ever.
Ow! Push the thing. Let me.
Morning and welcome back to AVIXA TV live at InfoComm. The show floor, it's officially open and the energy is absolutely electric. Industry professionals from around the world are here in Las Vegas to explore some of the latest innovations, education sessions, and cutting-edge technology in the world of Pro AV. I'm your host, Samantha Powell.
And I'm Ben Barnard, expert at getting out the back of Teslas, as I
Yes.
think everybody just saw there.
That's what you get for being tall.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't my fault, but yeah, there we go. The show, as you say, show floor's open. The energy's different now, right?
Yes.
Yesterday we were here on the here at the AVIXA TV studio, and it was, you know, everything's being built around us, and there was all sorts of stuff going on. But now it's officially open. The attendees are streaming in. We've got tons of people around us here supporting this whole thing. It's absolutely fantastic.
Absolutely. It's like you just snapped your finger and overnight everything is just done and complete, and it's just amazing.
Well, that's the other thing. Much easier now to get around the aisles because, you know, if, you know, people at home might not believe it, but when you're getting everything built up, there's literally not even carpet on the floor until like this morning. People finally roll the carpet out, get it hoovered, get it clean, and yeah, it's just incredible how quickly it all comes together.
I love the English. Get it hoovered.
Yeah. Sorry, vacuumed.
Vacuumed. Well, what do you say? Let's go ahead and start the show.
I think we should.
Fantastic. So we're delighted to start off today's show with James Tian and Dan Napier of iKan International, who've generously supported AVIXA TV with some top-notch equipment for our broadcast this week. So James and Dan, thank you so much for joining us.
You're welcome. Thank you so much, Sam.
Wonderful.
Ben.
What do you think of the show and the show floor now that it's all put together?
It looks absolutely amazing, and this is our first year partnering with you guys, and it's been an absolutely wonderful experience. It's been a pleasure working with all of you guys, and I will say you guys are kind, genuine, and very passionate about what you do.
Well,
thank you so much. You're setting the bar pretty high for any other guests, you
know.
know, with the compliments. Like,
We'll pay you afterwards.
yeah, exactly.
We can meet at the blackjack table.
Yes, we'll
afterwards.
talk. Yes. I don't know how to play, so I need some help. So if you can give me some pointers, please.
Happy to.
And you guys, as I had mentioned, have provided some really cool equipment here. So can you talk to us a little bit about what you've provided here at our AVIXA TV stage?
Absolutely. So at iKan, we specialize in manufacturing in-studio professional broadcast equipment, namely lighting, teleprompters, and pedestals. And all 3 of those product segments are well represented at the AVIXA TV studio.
Excellent. And I know that iKan are all in for AV over, IP over broadcast. So what kind of future trends can we expect to see in this space?
Absolutely. We're really excited about broadcast over IP. Since COVID, the market verticals of broadcast has just increased dramatically from traditional television. Corporations, education, houses of worship are all wanting to adopt broadcast. Broadcast over IP is going to make it easier, more affordable, and more streamlined for them to be able to not only install, but to be able to operate. And that's an important part, the operations side. It's overlooked, but it is critical to the success of all broadcast production. For us at iKan, we focus a lot on NDI technology. We're researching SMPTE 2110 and what that means for video over IP. And also unique to us is power over Ethernet solutions, namely in lighting, in monitoring, and teleprompters. And we're really excited to talk about those.
And I suppose it's the sort of the simplicity as well is really important, as you said, because you know, installing something, buying equipment, putting it into a space is one thing, but then, as we were speaking about yesterday, having the expertise to actually operate it is another thing. And if people have to invest tons of time and money in training people up to, you know, sort of like expert level to get there, it kind of adds cost. So simplicity is key as well.
Absolutely, and you know, a lot of corporations are looking at their traditional IT AV team to now operate broadcast. And to the extent that those team members are seeing the equipment operated with Cat6 cables and things that they're familiar with, I think it's going to bridge the gap. And plus, the benefit of IP is the automation, the software that can just make things that much easier for these individuals to operate successfully.
Absolutely.
And so you had mentioned NDI, and I am still more of the novice in this industry. So first, can you tell us and our audience a little bit about what NDI is, and then how you're using it into your products and its benefits and why it's so important in our industry?
Absolutely. Well, there are many more people that can speak much more intelligently about NDI than I can. What the goal is that it's replacing SDI linear baseband. And the beauty of NDI is that you have a centralized server, localized or cloud-based, where you can grab video feeds as well as push new feeds into this centralized server. And once all the devices are networked, you're able to easily switch video feeds between different outputs, receiving ends, mediums, and such. So it simplifies the entire process, and it really is the way of the future.
In addition to that, it also has the great advantage where you can utilize a customer's existing network in some cases. Now, generally speaking, you may want to separate the traffic, but we have worked with a lot of customers who have a corporate network and want the NDI sources to run over that network so they can utilize them at their desks. There are a lot of tools that you can put on to just regular PCs that allow you to interrogate the NDI stream and share content in a corporate environment.
Absolutely, and you mentioned earlier about the power over Ethernet developments as well, and it's, you know, in terms of the lighting side of things, why is the timing so perfect for that kind of 90-watt development?
Absolutely. So we launched power over Ethernet broadcast lighting at the beginning of this year. We're getting a lot of adoption. The beauty of power over Ethernet lighting is that it allows a single Cat6 cable to simultaneously power the light and control the light. It simplifies the installation process, and really the more critical thing is the installation itself. These are low voltage lighting, and which means that you can install lighting in your existing room, whether it be a small, medium, or large size studio. And you could do that without the need for traditional power, which means you can bypass the need for traditional permitting for installing AC power. And the reason I brought Dan here on board, Dan literally just joined iKan a week ago. So he's coming trial by fire. Dan was a senior systems design broadcast engineer for AVI Systems before he joined iKan. And I brought Dan on to really speak from an integrator, installer perspective of why PoE is such critical to integration success.
Yeah, so I'm going to somewhat to repeat some of the key points that James has pointed out, but basically AV over IP and PoE is going to be a game changer for the lighting designs going forward. iKan, like many people here at this show, recognize the importance of embracing the IP and PoE technologies and protocols, including Dante, 2110, NDI, and now ArtNet over DMX, which is the protocol we currently use. As James mentioned, I did work for AVI Systems fairly recently, and I worked out of the central engineering team, and I was responsible for large studio, corporate studio, and large broadcast studio deployment. Believe it or not, delays that happen in projects generally are largely controlled at the early project planning stages, typically in permits. Sometimes permits can take 3, 6, 12 months to go through. You've got the ongoing conversations with the project manager, the architect, the system integrator, and the customer, which can get lost in translation and just get delayed. And then of course you've got to select electrical contractor. And with our post-COVID, it's harder to find them. They're expensive, and the small electrical jobs are often not jobs they want to do because it's just not worth their while. When you do find them, you've then got the situation where you've got to, you have to wait. So going to the system integrator is clearly a clear advantage. They can do low voltage installation. They have the ability to take that work on as part of their scope, recognize the revenue, which previously they wouldn't have recognized. That allows them to have a bit of additional cash flow that they could use in situations where they've got overruns in other areas. They've got $0 change orders that they would normally have to write off, so it's a bit more cash flow. But the bigger benefit is it allows them to close projects sooner, because you haven't got that delay in the pre-project stage. Closing projects early, number one, keeps the customer happy, because sometimes they can go on for a year and the customers get really upset, as you can imagine. But also the company can't recognize the revenue internally. So, you know, and that has a knock-on effect of all the other projects behind them. Bigger benefits as a whole with going down this route would be you can make massive savings to the client. Putting traditional electrical infrastructure in, like circuits, armored cable, conduit, is expensive. You could talk many thousands of dollars to put in, you know, a lighting system.
So you really are saving the client an awful lot of money there. So now that's incredible. I mean, unfortunately, they do say time flies when you're having fun. We've come to the end of our segment, unfortunately. What's the best way for people to get in touch with you while they're at the show, if they want to sort of carry on this conversation with you?
Absolutely. Well, we will be here at the AVIXA booth. Our lights are also well represented at the AVI Systems booth, at the Unilumin booth, as well as at the Netgear booth.
Perfect.
So thank you so much.
Wonderful.
And you can always find us at ikancorp.com.
Fantastic. Thank you so much indeed, both of you, for joining us.
Thank you, Sam.
Good
Thank you,
luck
Ben.
with your career at iKan. You know, you've survived the first couple of months. I hope it's a long and lustrous career for you.
Thank you so much, Ben. Thank you, Sam.
And I have to pause you. I know you said time flies, but we also have a fly visiting us on set.
Yes,
So
I mean, they say no flies on me. There were flies all over me. I don't
they're
know why.
all over. So to our audience at home, if you see that, they also want to come to InfoComm. So we bring everybody here.
Absolutely. What have we got next?
All right. Well, we've got a great segment. I think Ben's got something for us over on the green screen. Ben, tell us what you got.
Well, hey, it's great to be back over here. You know, we talk about AV over IP. One of the benefits of that technology, aside from streamlining signal flow and leveraging that existing infrastructure, is sustainability, which leads us into our conversation today with my next guest. That's Christina DeBono from SAVE. Christina, thanks so much for joining us over here on the virtual stage.
And thank you so much for having me.
Well, Christina, I want to ask kind of the first question, right? Who is SAVE, and what is sort of the mission statement and kind of vision for the organization?
Wonderful that you ask. So SAVE, or Sustainability in AV, is the first industry-wide nonprofit 501c3 organization, all volunteer, with the mission to bring stakeholders together in our industry to take concerted action to do our part in achieving the 2030 Sustainable Development Goals. You know, let's face it, you know, we're having issues around climate change, environmental degradation, increasing poverty and inequality. These challenges are profound, and they're honestly getting worse. And the AV industry is actually part of the problem. I want to share with you a staggering statistic. In 2022 alone, we generated over 62 million metric tons of e-waste globally. Less than 20% of that was officially recycled. That volume increased 21%, and by 2030, when we are to achieve these critical goals, that number is going to increase to 90 million metric tons.
Oh, that's incredible to hear. Those numbers are kind of staggering. You know, one of the questions, look, the show floor just opened. I'm already hearing conversations, people walk by asking about sustainability. I literally see a graphic across the way from us talking about sustainability. How can AV manufacturers and providers and even integrators and end users help contribute to some of those sustainability goals?
That's a great question, and I wanted to first of all share with you what the 2030 Sustainable Development Goals are. These were goals that were unanimously adopted and approved by all 193 member nations represented at the UN. That are 17 goals, including things like ending poverty, combating climate change, reducing inequality, and to build a sustainable world for all people on the planet. Now, our industry has a particular responsibility for Goal 12, which is around sustainable production and manufacturing, which addresses things like repurposing, reuse, recycling, and proper disposal. So while the AV industry is part of the problem, we can be part of the solution, and the initiatives of SAVE really focus on what stakeholders in our industry can do to contribute to Goal 12 in particular.
Well, look, even before SAVE, I know the industry sort of had lacked a unified presence and mission and vision from a sustainability standpoint, but one of the things you guys offer is actual certification. Can you talk to me a little bit more about what SAVE certification looks like?
Thank you. Yeah, so we have what's called SAVE Certified, where we provide an educational program, a workshop, and a planning session to help companies start their journey in aligning their business models with sustainable development. A lot of companies don't know where to start, or they may not have the education. So we feel that's very important, is to provide the education, and then we help companies come up with actionable plans. We even have created a whole kit, if you will, so that it makes it easier for a company to do things that are actionable, that they can attain on their own. The good news is this year AVIXA is sponsoring the SAVE certification program here at InfoComm on Friday, June 14th.
Well, that's incredible to hear. Kind of last question here before we kick it off. You know, obviously there's a ton of people here at InfoComm and in several different ways that folks can interact with the SAVE organization here at the show. What are some of those ways?
Okay, I'm glad you asked. So we have lots of activities. This afternoon, Phillips is hosting a reception for SAVE, and we're really excited about it. So we invite anyone who wants to learn more about SAVE to attend the reception, because we're going to have a whole delegation of representatives from SAVE. And then we have our SAVE certification program. I wanted to also share with you a couple of other big initiatives that we have. One's called Save a Second Life. Give your AV equipment a second life at the end of its first life through reuse, repurposing, recycling, and proper disposal. We have a partnership with HETMA, the Higher Education Technology Managers Alliance, where equipment can be donated to schools and also to non-government organizations. The other thing is we have a growing SAVE Ambassador program. We have SAVE Ambassadors now from 12 different countries in Latin America, Europe, and North America. We were named the sustainability partner for the second year in a row at ISE, where we introduced the SAVE Ambassador program. So we're also encouraging individuals from different regions to join us if they want to bring our mission and initiatives back to their countries and regions.
Well, Christina, I'll tell you what, it's an important conversation to have. I know a lot of great things happening, not only at the show, but continuing on to hit that 2030 goal. Christina, we appreciate you coming on with us today.
And I want to say one more thing. If you want to learn more about SAVE, go to our website at saveav.org.
Well, thank you very much for that plug, Christina. It was great to have you on the show. Hey, next up, we've got a great conversation with our friends over at Elite Screens. Check it out.
Well, I'm joined now by Jaime Abrego. He's the product manager at Elite Screens, and today we're going to spend some time talking about projection systems. And as the name of the company might suggest, we're going to talk about the screens for those projection systems. So, Jaime, how are you doing? Good to see you.
I'm great. Thank you, Mark, for asking.
Talk to me about the benefits of using projection. You know, obviously it's very flexible, can be used in a lot of different areas, but there are many considerations when it comes to where you put your projection system, right? Ambient light is obviously a big, big factor. Talk to me about some of those benefits, but then also some of the things that you should be considering when you're looking at using a projection system.
Yes, so the projection screen industry has been growing and has been evolving, and as we start to see, obviously, the technologies from lasers and the smaller form factors, we here at Elite Screens find it very important to assure that the industry has adequate projection screens for those particular two-piece systems, and particularly ambient rooms with lots of ambient light which cannot be controlled, such as meeting rooms, conference rooms, training facilities, and such. And since we have been following the contrast ratio systems from I believe AVIXA and others, we have been trying to obviously improve the industry and the materials so that you're able to retain contrast and improve the black levels and so forth, so that you're able to combat the typical matte white washout effect that you typically get.
So talk to me a little bit, how has Elite Screens managed to find maybe the right balance, the right materials, the right colors to use to really make the most out of those projection systems?
Yes. So we have developed 2 screen materials, and one is for ultra short throw and another one for standard throw, and they work differently. Obviously, the ultra short throw, because of the steep way that the projection is shot to the projection material, obviously you're going to need a reflective layer that properly reflects that back to the viewer's eyes. And with that technology, we also embedded an absorbent layer at the top so that I can absorb up to 95% or so of overhead lighting. And then we have a different one for standard throw projectors as well. But that one is an angular reflective, so ceiling light and ambient light from the sides as well. Because of the angular reflective technology, it'll reflect or bounce off some of that ambient light as well.
One of the other keys and one of the key benefits for projectors and projection systems is mobility, right? And so, you know, Elite Screens sounds like has a number of different products and things for projection systems that need to be on the go. You want to talk us through some of those solutions?
Yes, so actually we are introducing a brand new product, which is ceiling light rejecting. It's a folding frame design, which allows users to carry it wherever they need to. It's on the go. So it's a folding frame system that utilizes our CLR2 ultra or short throw projection screen material, which has that technology to absorb light from overhead light sources. And we have it in a 103-inch diagonal size and a 123-inch diagonal size. And then we have another one, the Floor Riser Pro Cine-Gray 4D. And that particular unit is a floor rising manually that you manually pull up. And that one, like I said, uses the Cine-Gray 4D angular reflective material for standard throw projectors.
And you talked a little bit about UST or ultra short throw projection systems. Why is the surface so important for that type of projector?
What we did here is embed the technology needed for ultra short throw so that the light reflects properly and makes use of the sawtooth structure that that particular material has, like I mentioned, so that the light hitting it from below is reflected back to the viewer's eyes, while the top layer at the top is doing another part and absorbing the light from above.
Well, these screens do make such a difference, right, in that final product. Jaime, thank you so much for taking a minute just to chat with us a little bit about how it all works. We're really looking forward to seeing you at InfoComm here very soon.
Good stuff. Thank you very much, Mark. Now, we all know how important it is to plan ahead, and that data-driven plans are a vital tool for any organization. So I'm pleased to say that joining us now to discuss the importance of market intelligence, we have Monique Rizet from Microsoft and Tim Trost from Legrand. Welcome to the show.
Hello, thank you. Thanks for having us.
How's it looking so far? Have you had a chance to sort of look around on the show floor and sort of walk about?
Just a little bit, maybe like a quick preview, but it's been great. It's going to be a good day.
Some incognito action last night.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Yeah, you'll get your steps in, that's for sure.
Yeah. Absolutely. Can we start off by just talking about what the culture of data use is in each of your organizations? Monique, if you want to kick off.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, at Microsoft, everything we do evolves around data. And luckily, we're fortunate to have all kinds of data sources to leverage. And so I'm really big on making informed decisions on data, on the business regarding data. But I also like to look at multiple sources of market intelligence as well. So obviously, we use the IOTA data that AVIXA provides. We have Forrester data, Gartner. Microsoft produces the Microsoft Work Trend Index every year that surveys over 30,000 people in 180 countries. And so I like to take all of that, compare the notes, talk with our partners, gain their insights, and then really use that to build our plans and our decision making.
Absolutely. Tim, is it a similar thing at Legrand?
Very much so. Same thing as to what Monique said, but we also use many industry data sources, third party, and conduct primary research, because there's times where you need a layer deeper than what standardized reports, kind of the old Pareto 80-20 rule, and that amplifies our intelligence and helps us make strategic decisions.
Absolutely.
And how does the data that you are getting, how does that help inform your business and how you are using this market intelligence to make a difference within your organizations?
Yeah, you know, especially in my space specifically, you know, we've been on this Teams Rooms journey for 4 years. My entire business was built out of the pandemic, right? And so things are changing so rapidly that we have to have multiple sources. We have to check it regularly. You know, in our QBRs with our partners even, we're comparing their data and their insights that they're seeing. And some of that prompts us to ask other questions, right? Like, you know, about 2 years into our journey, we saw some trends around real estate that we were trying to figure out. We didn't know what was going on, but we knew there was some sort of stalling happening because people were trying to figure out their real estate strategy, right? And their leases that they're trying to finish out and things like that. And so we turned to AVIXA in one of our global partner meetings, and we're talking about all the real estate trends. What are you all seeing from a real estate perspective? The type of real estate companies are using, how they're consolidating, what their leases look like, occupancy rates, things like that. And we look at it at a global level to kind of figure out where these trends are coming from to make decisions. So it's pretty cool.
And then zooming a layer deeper, we got to make strategic decisions. And I think we're all at a show super excited about the health and the energy of this industry. You can try to do everything. You'll most likely fail. So get the data, make strategic decisions of what you're doing, more importantly, what you're not doing, and then double down your investments on those opportunities around your core competencies. And that's what we do day in and day out with my team.
Oh, that's fantastic.
So what are you looking to find out in terms of what informs your research questions while you're actually here at the show? Because obviously this is a perfect opportunity to walk around, listen to conversations, visit sessions, visit partners, visit other manufacturers, whatever it might be. What are you kind of hoping to find out, or at least looking to when it comes to your research questions?
Yeah, you want to take that first?
Yeah, I think it's a lot of casual conversations. You don't know what you don't know until somebody starts talking about it. A lot of unaided, unprompted questions, and then you find themes, right? You can stitch together different data points from many different sources, manufacturers, customers, distributors, and start to hone in on what trends you really want to research deliberately, and that will guide you to your sources.
Yeah, I think we're looking for customer trends as well, right? Like kind of some buying patterns, some habits. What are some of the themes that we're going to take out of this week? There's still a lot that we're trying to figure out around kind of the future of the workplace and how much more it's going to grow. Obviously, we've seen great growth over the last 4 years, but there's still, and it's still going, right? Don't get me wrong. But just trying to figure out kind of what's important right now and what are they thinking about when it comes to hybrid work and AI in the room, AI on the PC, and how all that comes together with the hardware and the technology.
Yeah, and I guess with the kind of what you don't know side of things, I guess it's important to have multiple team members on the floor gathering bits and pieces, and then kind of coming back for a bit of a get together, and sort of, because you don't always know what will end up being important in terms of the trends and the stuff that you hear, right?
Yeah.
We have all different things top of mind. We all have different bias, and so we have a team out scouting the show floor, looking at competitors, other manufacturers, talking to different customer segments, and we aggregate that data post-show. We do a debrief. We start to ideate trends, use design thinking methodologies to hone in on key opportunities for the business.
Yeah.
And speaking about trends, you know, there's always something new, right? And there's always a new set of data. What type of time scales do you work with to make sure that you're always dealing with the most relevant and recent data? Because
I would say probably weekly. We're looking at it, especially in the collaboration space post-pandemic. It just changes so quickly. And we're always trying to figure out the next thing. And so I would say whether it's an IOTA report or our internal research or Gartner, we're comparing notes and comparing insights on a regular basis.
Great.
Yeah, you rewind back 2 years ago, we couldn't get data fast enough.
Yeah.
By the time when you conducted the research and then analyzed the research, too much happened in that window of time. So it was constantly trying to get ahead of it. You know, as the world hopefully starts to get a little more boring, we'll be able to use data that's a little bit older, synthesize conclusions, and maybe a little crystal ball to figure out what the future of work looks like.
That's a great point, though, because he's right. Like 2 years ago, we couldn't wait for data. So that's why we were like picking each other's brains and insights everywhere, because it just, what are you seeing? What are you seeing? Calling all of our, our colleagues.
And I'll say that's why we have the network, right? We talk to one another and understand who's researching what, because we collectively lift up the industry, the old rising tide analogy, and it's been extremely helpful having partners that are extremely trustworthy and transparent in the research they do.
I'm interested though as well to find out, because obviously refreshing data is very, very important. Just for my own curiosity, is there any data that you don't need to refresh? Are you just like, right, this is the base thing? Like anyone trying to sell me new data on this topic is like, yeah, no, I don't need it. Or is it always the case that newer is better?
I feel like right now newer is critical.
Yeah.
Not just better, it's critical. Yeah.
This is a tough one, but I do think there is value in going back and looking at 5 years ago.
Yeah.
What happened in 2019 to 24 might give you some indicators of how the world has transpired, products, decision making, channel trends, whatever your business is focused on, you want to understand how that's evolved over 5 years. Because inevitably history is some indicator of future.
So not necessarily looking at old data as gospel, but actually just making sure you can compare and contrast it to what we see now to see how far it's moved.
Agreed.
Right. They say a little knowledge is a dangerous thing, but also that potentially a lot of knowledge in the wrong hands can be a dangerous thing. How do you guard against that in your organization, making sure that the right people have the data and that they're using it in the right way?
Yeah, I think it's, speaking for my team, right, we all have access to a lot of great data and everyone knows how to pull out and extract properly. I think it's also critical to understand the sources of the data and what was pulled and what was researched to get that data to give us a perspective of where it came from. But yeah, I think we're good. I think we're good. Everyone's responsibly using it today, but you're right. In the wrong hands, it could be pretty dangerous.
Lethal.
Yeah, I mean, we're not doing heart surgery or sending rockets to the moon, so if people synthesize information a little inaccurately, we at least have to be happy that they're coming at it with the right intent, they're using data-informed decisions as part of their rationale for what's evolving on their roadmap. But we have learned valuable lessons in what information we provide to the team, what we keep to ourselves as an analytics team, and what guidance we provide the organization and how to use different data sources, because they can synthesize incorrect conclusions, and you never want to be in front of an executive and challenging the root data.
Yeah, absolutely.
Never a good thing. Well, great.
Well, thank you. Yeah, thank you so much indeed for joining us. And if people want to get in touch with you while you're at the show to continue these conversations, maybe share some insights that they have, what's the best way of them doing so?
Yeah, probably LinkedIn. Monique Rzai on LinkedIn. Yeah.
Yeah, Tim?
Yeah, LinkedIn or Twitter at Timothy Trost.
Perfect.
Wonderful.
Well, Monique,
Thank you
Tim,
so
yeah,
much.
thank you so much for joining us. We wish you a
Thank
great
you for having
show.
us.
Only just starting, so maybe we'll catch you at the end of the week. Hopefully, just as much full of energy and with some valuable insights.
Yes,
Fingers
absolutely.
crossed.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much.
Pleasure.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
So next up, we're going to go back to the virtual set for another episode of School Me with Ben Thomas. Take it away, Ben.
Room over here at our virtual set, and I've got a guest today to talk with us a little bit about the A in AV, and that's audio, joined today by Rebecca Sullins. Rebecca, thanks so much for coming on.
Thanks for having me, Ben. I really appreciate it.
Well, absolutely. Rebecca, I want to ask, right, audio is, ironically enough, kind of one of the ways that a lot of people find their way to the industry for the first time, especially historically, right, whether that's people who are mixing, musicians, things like that. So audio literally is half of the AV industry. Specifically, excited to have you on and talk a little bit about it.
Thank you. It's definitely the less flashy side of the AV. You know, we don't make pretty bright lights and everything, but it is vitally important.
Well, the beautiful thing about audio is that it's science, right? There are certain things and laws of physics that cannot be changed over time in theory. What are some of those things that you find that people that kind of come into the industry, whether it's the first time or maybe come from a technical background, that maybe they need to know about the world of audio?
Okay, so my biggest thing with audio, acoustics, physics, physiology, all of that, is that there's no piece of hardware in the world that will overcome just really bad architecture or design or acoustics. There's only so much you can do to overcome that. So understanding the basics of how audio reacts with the environment. So we've got a graphic up here now. Hold on, this one's a little bit hard to see, but basically what this is showing you is acoustics in and of itself is nothing more than the way that a wave reacts with its environment, whether that is reflected, absorbed, diffracted, whatever. So this graphic is kind of showing you this is what is happening. This is what is hitting a listener's ear in a badly designed acoustical room. They are getting that sound from multiple different locations at multiple different time signatures, and it really, really, really screws with the way you hear things in your environment. So understanding acoustics at a fundamental level and how the human physiology responds to said acoustics, I believe is truly fundamental to understanding how to design an accurate AV system.
Well, you talk a lot about kind of the refraction side of things. Naturally, when you start talking about acoustics in all sorts of different environments, you start talking about things like verb and bounce back and delay. You know, talk a little bit about some of those, I don't know that I would say audio effects, but maybe those secondary features of audio.
Okay, so the three big ones that we tend to be concerned with, especially in the AV world, are absorption, reflection, and refraction. Now, reflection is what we know as reverb, okay? And that is obviously, yep, see, there we go. Reverb is good when you want to sort of blend your sound and make it softer for vocals, etc., because it can hide a lot of vocal mistakes. That's why, you know, all the really bad pop singers put a lot of reverb on their songs. It hides the mistakes, right? It's kind of like whitewashing over a painting. You miss the brushstrokes. However, when you're talking about intelligibility, and this is something that is near and dear to my heart. I actually am teaching a class tomorrow about intelligibility and how to design for this exact problem. When you look at intelligibility, and we're going to look at this graphic here, the on the left is your clean sound with no absorption. So you can clearly see the highs and the lows. There's peaks and valleys. It's much more clear. The one on the right is what happens if you have a very badly designed room and you have sound bouncing all over the place. It raises your entire noise floor, right? It's the same reason it's so much harder to talk to your buddies at a club or in an airport. When that noise floor is really high, nothing pops over it, right? You need contrast. Same thing in video. You want high contrast ratio, right? This is the concept of contrast ratio for audio.
Well, look, when you start talking about audio, I think a lot of times, especially people here, may think about the larger room, the house of worship, the entertainment venue, things like that. But all of this science translates even to macro, small meeting rooms, offices, things like that, which is why it's very difficult to get a good sound out of a room with glass and highly reflective surfaces. How do you take those high concept principles and boil them down maybe to those smaller venues and things like conference rooms?
Well, it's funny because actually I think they're more important in smaller rooms, right? Because smaller rooms, they're not going to have a voice lift system to get over some of these issues that you have. So it is more important for them to be simply designed better, which is not always the case, as we have seen in the emerging trend of open ceilings and minimalist and square walls and etc. So for me, it's you have a budget, right? When it comes to audio, you can have so much noise floor, you can have so much lift, etc. You have to balance that budget. If your room does not sound very good, then you need to get the mics right up next to the people. If the room sounds great, then you've got a little bit of leeway in that budget to be more free with your design. So for me, it's all about just understanding what your variables are. And in those small rooms, a lot of times, you don't have a whole lot to play with, but it is much more vitally important that things be intelligible.
Well, Rebecca, obviously people here at the show this week have the benefit of going to things like demo rooms and seeing a lot of these in practice. But let's talk about some of those folks who may not be here. Where are some of the places that people can go to learn maybe just a little bit more about the basics of audio?
Oh, basics of audio. SynodCon always has excellent courses. They're my immediate go-to. They are the kings and queens of acoustics and audio. Let's see. SynodCon is good. NTI has a whole bunch of acoustic classes online that you can do. But for me, you can learn the fundamentals of it. You can learn how to do the math. You can learn the concepts. But until you actually go and start to listen to things and really pay attention. For example, in college, I did a course called Golden Ears, where it was literally you would listen to one sound and then you would listen to one sound with so much distortion on it so that you could actually hear the differences and being able to actually experience acoustical differences is key.
Well, Rebecca, thanks so much for joining us today out on the virtual set. I'm sure we'll see you a few more times out around on the show floor.
You will.
And for those of you watching on AVIXA TV, we talk about audio not only in the macro standpoint at a venue, but even in things like headphones. We'll talk a little bit about that in our next video, which is about the HyperX Arena.
Welcome to the HyperX Arena. I'm here with Andrew, and we're going to take you on a tour. Let's go. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, welcome to the HyperX Rotunda.
Wow, now I went to UVA and the rotunda there is a lot different than this. Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
Tell me about this space.
Yeah, so we utilize this space as kind of our player check-in. So this is our first view into the HyperX Arena. So we have obviously full brandable spaces. You see the televisions, you see the full LED wall, and probably the most memorable area is our retro dome. You see all the chandeliers hanging, the controllers, all the cool elements there.
Okay, I want that in my house.
Well, let me show you the rest of the arena.
Okay, absolutely. Let's go.
PCs, gaming controllers, gaming headsets, keyboards, mice, the whole shebang is here.
Okay.
So this is what really, when you say esports arena, this is what we mean.
So how many stations do you have set up here?
So we have about 160 PC stations,
Okay.
fully customizable and modular. So we're looking at the i9 PCs,
Okay.
4090 graphics cards. We've got 64 gigs of RAM, 24-inch monitors, 240 hertz, keyboard, mice, Eureka gaming chairs. This is the paradise for a gamer.
Okay.
They can't find anything better on the market right now.
And then
That's-
I turn around, like this is massive. What size screen?
Yeah, that screen is just about probably 25 foot tall. What's great about our facility is every screen you see in here is one big canvas. So we can break it up. Right now you can see individual gameplay. This can all be unified, but you're noticing the main featured element is when people are in here, they're watching this screen. What's cool about this space is we have bleachers that come out from here if we want to do more of a stadium seating. We have banquet style seats that can come out here and move pods if we need to, or we can do rounds and tables for TED Talks or banquets, things like that. So it's not just an esports facility, it's actually a B2B business.
Wow.
So this is the front of house production. So we've got about 7 workstations in here. We have a front of house technical director. We've got multi-views, 2 utility spaces. We have a full front of house audio board, a lighting control board, another utility space, and then probably what's most recognizable in the area is our caster booth.
Oh, nice.
So in here is where our casters sit.
Okay.
So this is got a beautiful backdrop of the arena, full lights. We have confidence monitors, PTZ camera right here, but gives you a full setup in the arena. And then we have our main PCR. So this is our production control room. Allows us where the front bench, the technical director sits for broadcasts, the director, the producer, the coordinators, our graphics operators, everyone's here to produce the show. So welcome to the studio.
This is where I will be.
So that's our HyperX Arena Las Vegas. We have digital branding here. So we have a 9x that lets us recap and cover. If I was here on a TV broadcast right now, I'd be talking about the gameplay and pointing to it and going and interacting with the backdrop. Full studio lighting, analyst desk, we can bring in chairs. You obviously saw cameras and fully brandable backdrops over here. And I think that's probably one of the pillars of Allied Esports is that, you know, we run the HyperX Arena here and we understand every customer is different and so they need different resources. So for us, we want to make sure we're as mobile and flexible as possible. You'll see a lot of digital signage everywhere. We know that everyone has a different brand that they need up. So we try to maximize time by installing digital workflows to make things a little bit easier.
Well, this was a super cool tour. I can't thank you enough for having me here.
Yes.
So maybe once we're done filming, we grab a drink?
That sounds good to me.
I think that's a good idea.
Awesome job, Sam. That was fantastic. What a great space. I mean, it may be a slight waste of the capabilities of that space, but I, for one, would love to play some online backgammon in that arena. Do you think?
See, once again, I don't know how to play those games, but did you see me crush it in that little game I was there?
I saw you try, yeah.
Maybe Zelda. I'm trying to get them to let me play some Zelda, people.
Yeah, that was fantastic. They really, really good job. That was great.
Yeah, it was such a great tour. So thanks to them. And maybe after this, we can go and check it out.
Yeah, pop on over.
Wonderful. So next up, we have an incredible panel to dive into the world of live events within the AV industry. I'm excited to introduce our esteemed guests, Amanda Eberle, Sam Minish, and Deborah Jones. Thank you guys so much for joining us.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you. What do you think of InfoComm? Doors are open. People are on the floor. How you feeling?
It is buzzing.
It is buzzing for sure.
Awesome.
It's amazing. It's the best show on earth.
Absolutely. So wonderful. So if you all don't mind, can you each just tell us a little bit about your roles in the live events industry and then a little bit about what you're seeing now in live events post-pandemic?
Sure. Go ahead. So Amanda Eberle, I'm the general manager of AV Chicago. So we are an event production company. We are housed and live in Chicago, but we do events nationwide. And so in that, over the last 3-4 years of coming out of the pandemic, the shift and the energy of pent-up demand versus labor shortages and upskilling and reskilling, and to kind of where we are now. I know we're going to get into it a little bit today, but it's been an amazing transformation and a lot of learning and whatnot that has to happen in it. And when we were prepping and talking, we were talking a whole bunch about the labor market and how people are doing things and where that pent-up demand is, kind of looking at where we are now versus coming out of the pandemic and seeing that we're starting to level off a bit. But the excitement then of how events continue to go is, I'm excited about it.
Fantastic. Sam?
Great. So I'm Sam Minish. I'm the Vice President of Content Delivery for AVIXA.
I thought I recognized you.
Yeah, we've met once or twice.
Good name.
Occasionally.
Good name,
occasionally. So my team actually represents more of sort of the digital side of live events, right? So obviously we're producing the amazing thing that is AVIXA TV here. And one of the big things that we are seeing is the demand for quality is really, really increasing quite a bit. There was a pretty high tolerance for quality issues and whatnot during the pandemic. What we're seeing now, obviously not just in the AV industry, but around the world, is people are really expecting you to be able to deliver something sharp and something quality and something that is clean and put together really, really well. So obviously that's something we're striving for a lot here at AVIXA TV. And with all of the different live experiences that we're putting together.
Fantastic.
But I think that after COVID, I think live events have really come back into their own, and everybody else along the chain has stepped up to it. So if you consider AV to be sound, lighting, projection, staging, just look at the staging. You can have green screen, you can have LED wall, you can have mesh LED, you can have just fixed staging. On the video side, you've got incredible 4K video, you've got 8K video. If you've been to the Sphere, you've got 18K video. I mean, it's unbelievable what you can do now, and everybody else is stepping up to that. And so you'll see that the audio is now better. The quality of everything, the audio, the video, all those things combined, and the staging are tenfold what they used to be. And I think a lot of that is inspired by the remote production that happened during COVID. And here, we've got loads of education. It's all about the people. If you don't have people, then you can't operate any kit. The kit just sits in its boxes. The people develop the kit and they operate it. And getting trained specialists to operate that kit to make our industry what it is really difficult. So what I'm recommending is everybody go out and get that education.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely.
We told you the excitement is palpable. Like, let's go.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I know we touched on this briefly earlier about the, is it pent-up demand or is it business as usual? Deb, I know you're based at the QE2 Centre in London, amazing venue. What are you seeing in terms of that? I know, can you even tell the difference between pent-up demand and business as usual? I know you're always rushed off your feet.
Yeah, I mean, we're really, really busy. What we are finding now is that people they used to just obviously stream during COVID, but now they want to do a lot of video capture. They want to make up TV like we're doing now. They want to have video clips. They want to have pieces of camera, have outside people drinking coffee, exhibitors having a great time, and then they want to extend that community. And the way you do that is with video on demand. So they've got the stream going out. They can't guarantee everybody's paying attention unless you get the analytics afterwards. So there's lots of different streaming methods. The whole streaming industry has really stepped up to the plate. And then afterwards, the video on demand, you can put it on all your social media. You can have a paywall there, or you can throw it out to your members and keep that community with you. And so I think video is making that live event extend until the next one, and keeping in touch with those people and helping them solve their problems. I think that's what it's all about today.
I 100% agree. I think that I think that so much of that is actually what's driving. So one of the big hot topics that we've been hearing a lot about this year, it came up at ISE, it has already, even on day one, started to come up here, is the convergence between AV and broadcasters, right? And I think that live events is a huge component of that, right? That's the thing that is bringing people together, and we need to be able to, like you were saying with the education, upskilling folks from both the AV side on a lot of these streaming technologies is how we're going to raise that experience between, and be able to bridge that gap between the people who are there in person and the people who can't be there in person still to this day.
So that brings me on to Upstream, which is happening in London on the 11th of July. And it's all about broadcast, all about this AV convergence. And it's going to be big. And at the moment, I think that a lot of end users are looking at this convergence. I'm with the AV user group, and we're going... we're having meetings at the moment about how that integration has occurred and how we can upskill people to take that on. Because it's AV is something that's in lots of sectors. It's always been in facilities management. It's always been part of the architectural design of venues and buildings. It's a bit of everything. It's in music, it's in concerts, it's in so many things. And this is just another thing. But we, during COVID, were automatically broadcasting. Even if the CEO was just saying, okay, I've got to send out my message, I'm going to rehearse it, you've got to put it on, you've got to record it first, but it's still going out as digital signage effectively to all the people at home. And that's what COVID did.
I think I see more of like when we're at events, and so we focus on what's happening in the space. So corporate, we focus a lot of corporate, nonprofit, gala fundraisers, political, etc. And what we're seeing a lot is how are we driving and engaging people to come to the events? And then as we're talking with clients, because they might not have the budget to do a full-scale, virtual, redundant event, what are your whys? What's your priority? What's the important things of it? Is it to capture content so then you can have that later for historical purposes, share it out to a larger audience, etc.? Do you want just a direct stream going out to your audience? Because when we look at the stats from COVID, we have all of that on viewability and are people paying attention and what that is. The ROI for a lot of our clients, at least, and what we're seeing is that they don't want a full redundant virtual event. They want to record it. They want to have a stream option potentially for those people that can't be there, but really their priority is getting people to the event. You're always going to make more and have more of a captive audience when they're there. And data shows that if they have the option to be able to walk to their kitchen and grab a drink, they're going to walk to the kitchen and grab a drink.
They will, 100%.
But that's
or
about
that
content,
cat video.
isn't it? That's about making your content decent.
Yeah.
And I was just talking about this on another session. You've got to make your content attractive.
Yeah.
When you're remote, it is very practical to do it, especially during COVID. But now that we've all gone back to in-person, as a venue, as you say, I always think that talking face-to-face, especially if you're trying to build a community, that's the essence of it. But at the same time, it's your responsibility. If you're going to do a live stream, you're going to invest money in it, it's your responsibility to create that content, to keep people listening. And it's about solving things.
Yeah.
It's about creating solutions. So you've got someone with an audiovisual problem, and the kit and the people need to get together and solve it and make it look beautiful.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
These are my favourite kind of panel discussions where I don't have to do anything.
Yeah, it's like, let's just sit back.
We just like set it off and you guys do it. I mean, that's our time done. Like,
my goodness.
if people want to get in touch with you, you're all on LinkedIn, I presume, so they
Yep.
can. They
LinkedIn,
can
Exchange.
Excellent.
Yes.
LinkedIn,
Perfect.
Instagram.
Yeah, thank you so much indeed, all of you, for
Wonderful.
joining us. Enjoy the rest of the show. It's only just beginning, and have fun, and we'll catch up with you soon.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Now, earlier we sent our colleague Leon over to Area 15 to catch up with the team there to find out what visitors can expect to see. Should we go and take a look at that?
Let's take a look.
Let's do it.
We're here in Las Vegas, Nevada to check out a bit of a mystery that's behind these walls here. It's not Area 51, it's Area 15, which is the one-stop shop for an interactive and immersive arts and entertainment district. Let's check that out.
So my name is JD Bauk. I'm the Director of Production at Area 15 here in Las Vegas, Nevada. And we are a art and experience immersive district, if you will. Area 15 is almost 300,000 square feet. And we're getting ready to expand to our District 2, which would be, I think it's another 4 acres. You can come here and just literally beat the heat and just have a cocktail, or you can spend the entire day going through all the different event venues and, you know, the Meowwolf's Omega Marts, Museum Fiasco, Wink Worlds. You can throw axes, you can do virtual reality. You know, you can really spend a day here, and depending on, you know, what you do first, it's kind of choose your own adventure book. Yeah, so this is Museum Fiasco. It's one of our immersive entertainment art installation rooms. It's an infinity room. I believe it's 12 vertical columns that are covered on all sides with 48-inch, 25mm pitch LED. That's all RGBW. And then it also has a grid of 9 Solaris flares overhead. Museum Fiasco's evolution has gone from more of a sound effects and audioscaping experience to a more music mix and sort of a DJ that's not here experience.
So being able to be here at Area 15 was really kind of a surprise. I didn't know what to expect, honestly. I knew there'd be a lot of lights and definitely some technology, but the way it's all pulled together into an experience, I think is really the reason to come here. Also, one of the things that I took away from it is that AV is able to do so much, of course. So we've got the support for the various attractions, of course, the destinations like Museum Fiasco. Then we've got VR and AR games upstairs in the lab. We've even got support for art installations with folks like deadmau5 or members of the Blue Man Group. Those kinds of things can all happen here. And it's all still using the same technology that we use for the corporate stuff, like the private events and the larger public things that might happen here. So honestly, if you are around the area and you want to check out Area 15, don't think about it, just do it. You're going to see and experience something that, honestly, you've probably not seen or experienced anywhere else. All under one roof. Woo!
How do you follow up with that? We weren't expecting that, Leon, but as he said, just do it. And we actually did go do it last night at Area 15. So Ben and I and a couple of our colleagues went over to Area 15 to have some fun throwing axes, something I think I would never have said before. So Ben, if you'd like to just tell the audience a little bit about your girls' skills, I think that should be said.
I thought you might bring this up. Yeah, I mean, I was impressed
Thank you.
first. You were very good. Then, I mean, it took a bit of a dark turn because I realized that the thing I was impressed with was the fact that you could throw deadly objects extremely accurately. I didn't sleep that well last night.
I'm
after
just
that.
saying, just don't tell me no.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I won't from now on.
Wonderful. Well, we had such a great show today,
Yeah.
and I think we've got another great one coming up this afternoon.
Absolutely, yeah. Well, thank you so much to all of our guests, our panels, our discussions, all the kind of sort of insights that we got. It was absolutely fantastic, and we will see you on the next one.
Wonderful. See you then.
Bye.
Welcome to iKan, where innovation meets professional video production. Since 2005, we've been at the forefront of equipping creatives and professionals with the tools they need to bring their vision to life. From LED lights and teleprompters to PTZ cameras, tripods, and monitors, iKan is the trusted name across television stations, production and corporate studios, educational institutions, houses of worship, and beyond. Introducing our revolutionary Power over Ethernet lights. Imagine illuminating your set without the need for traditional AC power outlets. These cutting-edge lights are not only powered, but also DMX controlled over a single Cat6 Ethernet cable. Discover more about our innovative products and how they can transform your production. Visit us at ikancorp.com.
What's next in wireless? Meet the Shure Microflex Wireless Next 2. It's a snap to set up, and it's perfect for all your spaces, like this, and yeah, even that. And with a variety of available mics, everyone can hear and be heard. So what's next in wireless? The all-new, all-in-one MXW Next 2.
The Radian Video Wall Processor delivers large-scale visualization for mission-critical control rooms and command centers. It's modular and scalable, enabling users to create combinations of up to 64 screens from hundreds of inputs. Radian supports video from all sources, including computers, cameras, IP streams. With Radian, users can monitor and control numerous assets simultaneously across an open canvas. The ability to manage unlimited windows across multiple screens and drag and drop content in real time anywhere on the wall offers users maximum flexibility. The Radian Video Wall Processor from Blackbox. Scalable, flexible, and secure for any control room or command center video wall application. Learn more at blackbox.com/Radian.
The industry has evolved over the years. Analog to digital, isolated to network, server-based to cloud-based, but fundamental pains persist. Rolling out hundreds of rooms quickly and reliably is difficult, time-consuming, and expensive. Complex equipment frustrates staff, managers, and executives alike. The recent shift to hybrid offices has organizations considering replacement of outmoded systems. They're looking for simple, reliable, flexible, secure, and easy-to-budget video conferencing solutions. It's time for a totally new approach. It's time the AV industry met the Internet of Things. Introducing Conference Room as a Service, subscription-based products and services only from Wesco. A subscription that scales and works for your business. Together, with your preferred AV installer, we help you choose the right size system for your meeting spaces, small rooms, medium-sized rooms, and large conference rooms. Once you've chosen the size room you want to deploy, choose Zoom or Microsoft Teams and add options like bring your own device and a monitor if needed. Then choose how many rooms you want to add to your subscription. It's that easy. Once your AV integrator has installed and activated your equipment, your Conference Room as a Service subscription has you covered with advanced replacement, an industry-leading warranty, live 24/7 world-class help desk support, and a portal for remote monitoring and service tickets. With this service, all rooms are online and ready to go once connected to the network. It's never been easier to deploy, monitor, and evolve your workplace technologies, all at an affordable price with easy payments. Conference Room as a Service subscription-based products and services, only from Wesco. Simple, reliable, flexible, secure, easy to budget.
AV Gear is the one-stop solution for all your professional audio-visual equipment needs and a modern alternative for selling, trading, or liquidating your pre-owned audio-visual and entertainment technology. Not only are we a leading national brand in premium pre-owned equipment sales, we specialize in helping businesses across the globe sell, trade in, or liquidate their used audiovisual and production gear with no hassle. When you have any pro audiovisual gear that's taken up space or not being used, or you're looking to upgrade your systems and update your technology, you don't want to deal with the hassle and the costly and time-consuming process to get things done. Whatever that scenario might look like, AV Gear can help. Our team has over 50 years of real-world pro audiovisual and production experience, and we understand your needs and challenges when buying or selling your equipment. That's why it's so important to work with a company that truly cares about its clients and partners. And we work very hard to serve as if we were an extension of your own company, with your best interests as our top priority. Our business revolves around the buying and selling of professional audio, broadcast, lighting, cameras, projection, lenses, accessories, and so much more. We have pioneered revolutionary, flexible service programs to help you seamlessly reach your goals so that you and your team can continue to focus on what you do best while we do the rest. Regardless of the type or size of business that you are, regardless of where you find yourself with anything Pro AV, we can accommodate you beyond expectations. Whether you're looking to buy or sell your gear, trade it in, upgrade, consign, or liquidate, AV Gear is your one-stop Pro AV equipment solution, helping you save time, money, and space while bringing value to you and your gear in every way.
Bye.